$100 a month in dividend income changes almost nothing about your life. It covers a phone bill or a few tanks of gas. $1,000 a month changes everything. It covers rent, groceries, or a car payment without touching your salary. $10,000 a month is complete financial freedom. It replaces most jobs entirely. The difference between these three numbers isn't luck. It's not timing. It's not picking the perfect stock. It's simply math. Portfolio size multiplied by yield equals monthly income. In this video, I'm showing you exactly what you need to reach each tier, how long it realistically takes to get there, and which tier you should actually target based on where you are right now. Let's break down the numbers. The formula for dividend income is brutally simple. Annual dividend income equals your portfolio value times the dividend yield. Monthly income is that number divided by 12. So if you have $50,000 invested at a 4% yield, you earn $2,000 annually, or about $167 monthly. The question isn't how the formula works. The question is how much you actually need to invest to hit each meaningful tier. Let's start with tier 1, $100 monthly. This is $1,200 annually. At first glance, this seems almost pointless. $100 doesn't change your life. It doesn't pay rent, it doesn't cover groceries, it barely covers a subscription or two. But here's why this tier matters. It proves the system works. It shows you that passive income is real, not theoretical. And it's achievable faster than you think. To generate $1,200 annually, you need different portfolio sizes depending on yield. At 3% yield, you need $40,000 invested. At 4% yield, you need $30,000. At 5% yield, you need $24,000. Most people can reach $30,000 to $40,000 within 3 to 5 years by saving consistently. If you invest $500 monthly at 8% total returns, you hit $30,000 in about 4 years. The psychological value of Tier 1 is massive. The first time you see $100 hit your account from dividends, something clicks. You're not trading time for money anymore. You're earning money while you sleep. That realization changes how you think about investing forever. But Tier 1 is just the beginning. Tier 2 is where life actually starts to shift. And most people have no idea how close they actually are to reaching it. Tier 2, $1,000 monthly. This is $12,000 annually. This is the tier where dividend income stops being a curiosity and becomes genuinely life-changing. $1,000 a month covers real expenses, rent in many cities, a full grocery budget, a car payment and insurance, student loan payments, health insurance premiums. Here's what you need. At 3% yield, you need $400,000 invested. At 4% yield, you need $300,000. At 5% yield, you need $240,000. These numbers feel enormous at first, but let's put them in perspective. If you consistently invest $1,000 monthly at 8% returns, you reach $300,000 in about 15 years. If you can push to $1,500 monthly, you get there in 11 years. If you're aggressive and invest $2,000 monthly, you hit it in 9 years. $1,000 monthly in dividend income creates options most people never have. You can take a lower paying job you actually enjoy because the dividend income covers the gap. You can go part-time. You can start a business without the pressure of needing immediate income. You can handle emergencies without panic. This is the tier where financial independence starts to feel real. But Tier 3 is a completely different world, and the gap between Tier 2 and Tier 3 is wider than most people realize. Tier 3, $10,000 monthly. This is $120,000 annually. This is full financial freedom for most people. $10,000 a month replaces the majority of American salaries. It covers all basic expenses, travel, hobbies, and still leaves margin for savings or reinvestment. Here's what you need. At 3% yield, you need $4 million invested. At 4% yield, you need $3 million. At 5% yield, you need $2.4 million. Let's be honest, these numbers are out of reach for most people through salary and savings alone. Getting to 3 or 4 million typically requires one of 3 paths: decades of aggressive saving and compounding, business ownership, and eventual sale, or significant equity compensation from a high-growth company. If you invest $3,000 monthly at 8% returns, you reach $3 million in about 33 years. If you push to $5,000 monthly, you get there in 25 years. Tier 3 is the dream. But for most people, Tier 2 is the practical target that creates genuine life change. The question is, how do you actually get there? And that's what most dividend income videos never explain. Let's talk about the truth nobody wants to hear. Building dividend income takes time. Not months, years, often decades for meaningful amounts. The path to Tier 2, $1,000 monthly, looks like this. You start investing consistently. Maybe $500 a month, maybe $1,000, maybe $1,500. You reinvest every dividend. You don't touch the money. You let compounding work. For the first few years, the progress feels painfully slow. Your first year of $500 monthly contributions might generate only $15 to $30 in annual dividends. That's $1.25 to $2.50 monthly. It feels like nothing. But here's what changes. As your portfolio crosses $50,000, the dividends become noticeable, a few $100s annually. As you cross $100,000, you're generating $3,000 to $4,000 yearly. Now it's $250 to $330 monthly. Real money. The acceleration happens in the six-figure range. From $100,000 to $300,000, your dividends are compounding on themselves. The growth from reinvested dividends starts matching your contributions. This is why most people quit too early. They invest for 2 or 3 years, see tiny results, and give up. They never reach the inflection point where the money starts working harder than they do. Which tier should you actually target? Here's my honest answer. For most people, Tier 2 is the sweet spot. $1,000 monthly changes your life without requiring you to become a millionaire. Tier 1 is your proof of concept. Reach $30,000 to $40,000 to prove to yourself that passive income works. Use that $100 monthly to reinvest and accelerate growth. Tier 2 is your primary goal. $300,000 is achievable for most people who save consistently over 10 to 15 years. $1,000 monthly creates real options. It's the difference between feeling trapped in your job and feeling like you have choices. Tier 3 is aspirational. If you build a business, receive significant equity compensation, or inheritance, Tier 3 becomes possible. But for most W-2 employees saving from salary, Tier 3 requires either extremely high income or extreme frugality over multiple decades. The mistake most people make is targeting Tier 3 and then feeling defeated when it seems impossible. Target Tier 2. Build the habits. Let compounding work. If you eventually reach Tier 3, incredible. If not, Tier 2 still gives you financial security most people never achieve. But here's what nobody tells you about actually building this, and it's the difference between people who reach their tier and people who give up halfway. No theory, you'll get practical steps. How to actually build dividend income. Step 1. Automate contributions before you see the money. Set up automatic transfers from your paycheck to your brokerage account. If you wait until the end of the month to invest what's left, you'll never invest enough. Step 2. Invest in diversified dividend funds, not individual stocks. A dividend-focused ETF like VYM, SCHD, or VIG gives you exposure to hundreds of dividend-paying companies. You're not betting on one business, you're betting on the whole dividend-paying market. Step 3. Reinvest every single dividend automatically. Turn on dividend reinvestment in your brokerage account. Every dividend buys more shares. Those shares generate more dividends. That's how compounding actually works. Step 4. Track your progress in milestones, not months. Celebrate when you hit $10,000 invested. Celebrate at $25,000. Celebrate at $50,000. These milestones matter because they represent inflection points where dividend income becomes increasingly noticeable. Step 5. Increase contributions whenever your income increases. Got a raise? Increase your monthly investment by half the raise amount. Bonus? Invest 75% of it. Lifestyle inflation is the enemy of dividend income growth. Your realistic timeline. Tier 1, $100 monthly. If you invest $500 monthly at 8% total returns, you reach the $30,000 needed in about 4 years. Your first $100 monthly in passive income arrives around year 4 or 5. Tier 2, $1,000 monthly. If you invest $1,000 monthly, you reach $300,000 in approximately 15 years. If you can push to $1,500 monthly, you get there in 11 years. These timelines assume you're starting from zero. If you already have $50,000 or $100,000 invested, your timeline compresses significantly. The point is this: Tier 1 is a short-term goal, 3 to 5 years. Tier 2 is a medium-term goal, 10 to 15 years. Tier 3 is a long-term goal, 25 to 35 years for most people. Know which timeline you're on, adjust your expectations accordingly, and most importantly, start now. You just learned exactly what it takes to generate $100, $1,000, or $10,000 monthly in dividend income. Now here's what happens when you execute. You stop wondering if passive income is real. You start seeing it hit your account every quarter. You stop feeling trapped by your salary. You start building options. Set things in motion tonight. First, open a brokerage account if you don't have one. Second, set up automatic monthly investments you can sustain. Third, buy a dividend-focused ETF and turn on automatic reinvestment. The $100 tier proves it works. The $1,000 tier changes your life. The $10,000 tier sets you free. Which tier you reach depends entirely on what you do in the next 12 months. Start building. If $1,000 monthly isn't enough, watch my video on generating $5,000 monthly from SCHD. Exact numbers. Real math. Click on the screen and I'll see you there.